The Titans of Attack on Titan are some of the most fearsome creatures in all of manga, and their mysterious powers are rooted in an ancient ancestral magic. And to no one's surprise, they were gifted to the Eldians by a big worm? Wait, that can't be right. Can it? No. After rewatching the shocking backstory of Ymir in the recent Attack on Titan episode, we can solidly confirm that the Titan's powers were granted by a giant worm, centipede, parasite thingy? What's going on here? Did Hajime Isayama just run out of ideas when he decided to make this the root of the Titan powers? No way. As we'll learn in today's Wild Anime Theory, Isayama's choice makes not only sense narratively, but scientifically, because one clever online theorist has actually unraveled the real origins of this mysterious parasite. Welcome to Wild Anime Theories, where we're not afraid to show how crazy we are for our favorite series. If you love theorizing about your favorite shows, don't forget to check out our subreddit and post your own for a chance to see your theory in a video on this channel. Today's theory was originally created by the user Alienduelis on the Attack on Titan subreddit. The amount of scientific research that went into this theory completely changed all of our minds about where Hajime Isayama, the author of Attack on Titan, got his inspiration for his terrifying titans. Now, readers and viewers of Attack on Titan have long marveled at the author's many inspirations. From kaiju films to World War II, Isayama draws on many different ideas to craft his complex and unique worlds. And of course, who could forget the biggest inspiration for the Titans? Drunk people. That's no joke either. One of Isayama's chief inspirations for the Titans was his time working in an internet cafe and seeing drunk customers trying and failing to communicate effectively with their sober friends. This breakdown of communication due to people being in an altered state of consciousness actually planted the idea that eventually grew into the monstrous Titans we know. So next time you're at the bar, watch your back. Someone might just want to take a bite out of you. However, I doubt that many people counted the science of extinct Cambrian animals to factor into this rich tapestry until very recently. As a recap, let's remember what happened in this backstory. The founder of all Titans, Ymir, was shown to be a slave to an Eldian king. After being set quote-unquote free, she was hunted for sport until she found herself at the base of a giant tree. And then after falling through a hole in the base of this tree, she was submerged into a pool of water. Now, many viewers probably thought that Ymir would meet some all-powerful god down at the bottom of that pool. Perhaps the tree itself would tie into the world tree Yggdrasil of Norse mythology, and she would gain her powers in the fashion of Odin. However, viewers were surprised when instead she made contact with a magical, many-legged worm. And upon making contact with said worm, she was granted the power to become a fearsome titan that would strike fear into the hearts of the Eldians' enemies. What if I told you though, that this creature being the origin of the Titans makes actually more sense than we originally might think? In fact, it might have been influenced by a range of scientific concepts. The parasite that attached itself to Ymir bears a striking resemblance to an actual ancient creature known as Hallucigenia. This mysterious creature stumped scientists for decades who had trouble making sense of its strange anatomy. Originally, they thought that the sharp spines protruding from its backwards legs, instead of the actual, much more mobile tentacles. Scientists also struggled to figure out which end was the head. Now, while its anatomy and its place in the evolutionary tree make more sense now, they were considered mysterious for years. In fact, the creature was so enigmatic, it even gained the name Hallucigenia after the word hallucination because of its surreal, dreamlike qualities. Hallucigenia lived in the water, much like Attack on Titan's parasite, and scientists have had to learn about this extinct creature through fossils as well as preserved spines. And scientists learning so much about Hallucigenia through spines makes sense because, well, just think about how important spines are to Attack on Titan. A Titan can only be killed if it's attacked on the nape of its neck. right where this parasite would attach itself to the host. And Titan powers are passed down by drinking spinal fluid, which transmits the parasite to the new host. And the humans who have Titan transformations pilot their Titans from the nape of their neck too, just like the parasite that inhabits their own neck. The trade-off in energy for their powerful transformation could then be linked to why the host's lifespan only lasts 13 years after they gain their powers. However, the passing resemblance of the worm to La Halicigina is not the only scientific connection that Isayama might have made when developing his Titan origin story. Another surprising scientific inspiration for Titan powers could lie in creatures like the three-banded panther worm. Scientists have found that three-banded panther worms have seemingly mythical powers of regeneration. This worm could regrow any severed body part, including its own head. We've also just seen Eren saved by the parasitic worm after losing his own head after a well-aimed shot from Gabi, who maintains one of the best KD ratios in the Attack on Titan universe. Even when the Titans are bloodied and brutalized, even after getting their limbs chopped off, they display seemingly endless powers of regeneration. So why does hitting the neck work? Well, if you kill the parasite itself, you kill the Titan. Another Titan power that recently shocked viewers was none other than time travel. I don't know about you, but I definitely didn't have time travel on my Attack on Titan Season 4 bingo cards. But you're not seriously about to tell us there's some animal out there that scientists have learned to time travel, right? No, there aren't any lab rats like that, but there is a concept scientists have discovered called inherited memory. Eren can use the power of the Attack Titan to look into and even influence the past users. Now, scientists haven't discovered anything that potent, but they have seen that certain experiences can somehow be imprinted on genetic codes and passed down to offspring. In an experiment performed on lab rats, some mice were exposed to a chemical called acetophenone. When they smelled this chemical, they were also given an electric shock that built a connection in their brain between this chemical and the pain response. And so, obviously, even if a bit unethical, soon the rats became reasonably afraid of the substance. What is much more surprising, however, is that still generations later, their mice offspring still felt a fear response when smelling this chemical, despite never being electrocuted. So somehow these experiences were passed down through inherited memory. And so Eren being able to see the memories of past Attack Titan users is in line with this concept. However, it's also suggested that other Titans have some form of inherited memory as well. For instance, ever since inheriting the Colossal Titan from Berthold, Armin has developed a strange affinity towards Annie Lockhart, who Berthold was close with previously. The Halicigina-inspired Titan parasite could be holding various memories and experiences and then passing them on when it's ingested by a new host. Between the appearance of the strange worm and its resemblance to Halicigina and some of the Titan powers such as regeneration and inherited memory, it seems that Isayama was inspired by more than just the monster movies and history books. It seems he was paying attention in science class as well. So with all that fantastic scientific information, I know I'll never look at those bloodthirsty monsters in quite the same way ever again. If you enjoyed this theory and want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe.